Christine Stein is a 19-year-old on her way to help teach kindergarten. She takes the same route every day. But now she's about to take another journey. One that will bring her face to face with death. It takes an hour and a half to cut Christine from the wreckage.
Es war erstaunlich zu sehen, als wir diese Verletzung.
It was bad. Her aorta had a huge tear. She was bleeding internally. It really seemed like a miracle that the girl wasn't already dead by the time she got to the hospital.
Überhaupt lebend ins Krankenhaus gekommen. Wir waren in der Nähe des Herzens beschäftigt.
We were working near the heart to stop the bleeding. And suddenly, her heart stopped beating.
Es wurden Defibrillationsschocks.
We were trying to jumpstart her heart with a defibrillator.
Zum Schlagen zu bringen. Gleichzeitig
we gave her several drugs.
Mehrere Medikamente. The
patient had lost too much blood. Her organs weren't getting enough. We really didn't think we could save her.
Because Christina's heart has stopped pumping, many would consider her dead. Yet something seems to be happening with her mind.
Das nächste, was ich wieder weiß, ist, ja, dass ich wohl unter der Decke.
Next thing I know, I was hovering underneath the ceiling of the room. I could see down on myself laying on the operating table. And I saw the surgeons and heard them talking to each other. The scenario was pretty hectic. I realized that this was about life or death.
To help understand near-death experiences, some researchers focus on the content of these episodes.
A common element that occurs early in near-death experiences is what's called an out-of-body experience. At that time, the person seems to be able to see and hear things going on, but up from the vantage point above their body. Often what they describe are the doctors frantically trying to bring them back to life.
Medical science has an explanation for what's happening to Christina.
A near-death experience to a neurologist is first and foremost a crisis. Christine's brain was in a severe state of crisis. The switches in her brain that control consciousness malfunction. And it enters a very unusual, a strange borderland of consciousness where it blends waking consciousness with REM dreaming consciousness.
As they leave the body, they begin to traverse this connection. They begin to travel from what this life is to what there would be beyond this life, after this life, outside of this life.
I can't exactly describe how I got from floating under the ceiling to this special place that I went to. The whole world I found myself in was engulfed in a very warm, brilliant light.
The bright light that so often accompanies near-death experience to a neurologist means that the visual system has been very strongly activated. There are many ways to activate the visual system, and among the strongest is REM consciousness.
Christine's awareness of these heavenly realms is classic. Near-death experiencers often describe realms that are beyond earthly in their beauty. They often use the term heavenly realms.
Sie sieht ähnlich aus,
It looked similar like Earth, but all the colors were much brighter and friendlier. Absolutely beautiful. And the ground felt like cotton, very soft and warm. I know this because I wasn't wearing any shoes. I was wearing this beautiful, long, pale blue gown. I thought that was strange because I didn't own a dress like that.
Nachdem das Herzflimmern nicht durch die medikamentöse...
We couldn't get her heart going again. Medication and electric shock didn't work. All hell broke loose. We had to switch to manual heart massage.
Große Aufregung, Riesenspektakel.
But we just weren't able to restore any circulation.
Blutdruck eben herzustellen unter diesen Maßnahmen.
I remember I even begged God to help us because I thought we had no chance to save this young girl.
Dieser junge Mensch wird sterben.
In the German city of Koblenz, Christina is going deeper and deeper into her near-death experience.
Ich habe ganz viele Menschen gesehen, so, und ich habe sie nach meinem Namen rufen.
I heard somebody call my name. I looked into that direction and saw two people coming towards me. And I recognized them, although I didn't really know them.
Erkannt, wobei ich sagen muss, sie waren mir eigentlich
They were my grandparents. I had only seen them in pictures because they had both passed away a long time ago.
In dem Moment, als sie dann auch meinen Namen sagten und sie auch so aussahen, wie ich sie von Bildern her kannte, war mir klar, das sind meine Großeltern.
We have scores of near-death experience accounts that describe meeting someone during the experience that they instantly recognize, and they know it was one of their deceased ancestors or someone who's part of their family. Sometimes it's a deceased ancestor they never even met, someone who died even before they were born.
I suddenly realized I was in heaven. I knew it because I had met my dead grandparents, and I had learned as a kid that when people die, they go to heaven. And really, what else could this place be?
What kind of thoughts do you expect a person to have when they're facing their death? It seems very natural that they're going to think of loved ones, both living and dead.
Very often in these unearthly or heavenly realms, people will interact with other people that appear very much like they knew them during their earthly lives, but with one important difference. Even if the person had been very chronically ill when they died, people in near-death experiences that are encountered are essentially always picture-perfect health.
Besides my grandparents, I recognized two more people I knew among the crowd. Both had been sick and passed away, but in heaven, they were healthy. And this goes for everybody I saw. They were happy and beaming, all smiles. So I understood that all dead people are in a very happy place here.
While doctors try to save Christina, her near-death experience is about to take an abrupt turn.
Very typically, there's a dialogue, often with other people with them, about returning to their earthly body.
My grandparents told me, your time has not come yet. You have to go back and fulfill a great mission in your life.
Finally, I was able to apply the clamp above the tear in the aorta. We regained a little bit of blood pressure. Then her heart started beating again, and we could stabilize the circulation with blood transfusions and medications.
I was able to look back at myself on the operating table, and I heard the surgeon call out, "We did it! We got the girl back!"
Wir haben es geschafft, wir haben die Kleine wieder. Es war so, als ich geweint habe bei der Verabschiedung.
I cried when my grandparents said goodbye because I wanted to stay with them in heaven.
Nach etwa 2 Stunden waren wir mit dem Eingriff eigentlich zu Ende.
After about 2 hours, we were finished with the surgery.
Ob wir rechtzeitig genug gewesen waren.
Christine was stable,
Des Kreislaufstillstandes.
but we had no idea whether we had done it in time or she would end up with brain damage.
Das war zu diesem Zeitpunkt noch vollkommen unklar. Ich entsinne mich, dass sie
I remember Christine crying during recovery. It is very unusual. Normally you don't have people waking up in tears.
Natürlich verwirrt. War auffällig. War sehr auffällig.
Christina does recover and claims she has a revelation.
Also ich weiß, was ich erlebt habe.
I know what I experienced, and I know with absolute certainty that I didn't dream it. This was not a dream. My near-death experience really happened.
Hier war nun ein Mensch, den ich persönlich kannte, den ich sogar...
Here's someone I know personally, one of my patients, who tells me that she watched the desperation on the operating table. That's pretty incredible. But she really described it just like it happened.
Original wiedergegeben.
When someone is in crisis and lying in a hospital bed, they may appear comatose to the medical staff because they're not moving, but in fact, they're taking in a very hyper-alert state, everything that's going on around them. They'll hear conversations, they'll know who's in and out of the room, they'll see things through half-open eyes. From this, they may form memories, maybe very accurate memories, and it can become part of a near-death experience.
Still, it's hard to believe someone can float 2 meters above the operating table and hear everything we say. It's tough to accept that, although I think Christine is a credible and totally genuine person. It actually scared me that she talked about this kind of stuff. I can only speak about near-death experiences from my personal point of view because, as a medical doctor, I have to reject them. There's no hard evidence. Come on, it sounds like gibberish, nonsense. Angels singing, bright lights and tunnels, and everything is great? It can't be. It must be some sort of delusion.
Also ich kann ganz klar sagen, ich glaube an den Himmel gibt's.
Heaven exists, even though science can't prove it. It's not just in my mind, it's reality.
In meinem Gehirn, ist Realität.
Nehmen den meisten Menschen das ab.
I believe that most people who say they've had a near-death experience did have some sort of experience. But I don't think it's reality. More like hallucinations caused by dying brains.
If Christina's experience was a hallucination, she's not alone. Millions of people have reported having near-death experiences.